Oh no.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, so for those who are catching this video, this is Mike Deji Adegun. We call him Deji Adegun. For many years we've been friends. We call him Aboki. That's Aboki. That's our own Aboki. He's a very Nigerian man. A strong understanding of the political space, and when we're having conversations around Nigeria and the future of Nigeria, it's always a delight sharing such conversations with you, because you have some very not so unusual, but you have some well, I'll use the word unusual views about the Nigerian state, the future of the country, particularly the role of the younger generation in the scheme of things. It's nice to have this conversation with you. I'm delighted, and you already know the kind of stuff. Yeah, you're welcome, sir. And you already know the kind of stuff I would like us to touch on. You and I have been having a lot of back and forth about some things happening, and I would like us to take it from particularly the 2023 election. As of my last count, right, there are about 24 Nigerians who want to be president on the platform of the APC alone.
Yes.
That's 2.4 billion naira.
Maybe they were trying to use the nomination fee to discourage people.
Well, if that was, I see how well they succeeded in that, because if you're trying to use the big money to discourage people, we are 24 in less than.
So imagine if it was
months.
5 million naira.
Okay, you'll probably be contested now. If it was 5 million.
No, but let me tell you what I think about it. To be honest, you see, when and I'll give my state or your state as an example. And I'm not speaking for any party. I'm nobody, but you know, up till now, you know, your states, the opposition has not been able to come forward with a credible candidate to face the sitting government.
By the opposition, you mean the APC?
The APC has not been able to find someone suitable enough to face Seyi Makinde up till now. At least I have insiders.
Why
they have options. Sorry?
Why is that so?
Because Seyi has set the bar so high, you can't just go and bring one class teacher from somewhere and say, this is who we want to throw out.
Really?
Buhari has set the bar so low that everybody thinks they can do a good job too. Imagine, look, when the PDP was in power, or when Jonathan was there, now I'm not saying Jonathan did an excellent job, but I'm sure it wasn't as bad as this. The APC had to go and wake up a sleeping gladiator. I mean, the first time they brought Buhari and Bakare. Second time they had to bring Buhari and Professor Osinbajo to beat the sitting government. And it wasn't because the sitting government was rigging the election in their favor or anything, but they had set the standard so high. Imagine you are the former class captain and everybody is scared to step into your shoes because you've set the bar high. But imagine a situation where the class truant too says he wants to be senior prefect. The boys who don't come to class, who hardly sit, who are failing, and now say they want to become SUG president. Somebody has set the bar low. That is what is giving all of them hope, thinking that they can get there.
I am particularly proud of the example of your state that you used. It feels good because about a few years ago, everything negative about how politics should be handled came from Oyo State, even though it wasn't like the government at the time was doing badly, but it was just a lot of negativity coming from Oyo State. Before we talk about Oyo State, I like the analogy that the bar has been so low. That's why every time they can thinks they can become,
they have a chance.
President.
Yeah.
And in actual fact, I agree with you. The next president of Nigeria only needs to be average to look great.
You just have to be present, because ours is, they've marked him absent so many times, even in class. Just appear, just be present. See, let me tell you the truth. You see, one of the insanity that we have been driven into as Nigerians is when we begin to applaud normalcy. Things that are normal, we begin to, I mean, the government repairs a road and people are clapping that. These are normal things. But they have driven us to such a state of insanity and malady that even normalcy is being applauded now.
Mm.
So whoever is coming in, just be present. Make speeches when you need to make speeches. Go and declare, just be present. And don't be flying up and down for medical attention.
I see what you did there. Okay, it's okay. But looking at the future now, we cannot dwell on the past. We have to look ahead. The 2023 elections, there are there are a lot of people who think the election will not hold. There's so much uncertainty. Oh, interesting. Why? Yes. So why do you think the elections will not hold? Why would you think so?
By the mere fact that almost every single day another person comes out and indicates interest in running, then I know this is what we are going to have. We cannot hold elections. And I'll give you 3 grounds. Number one, we've gotten to the point where even within the parties, number one, the APC will most likely implode with the way things are going. Because, okay, how do they now decide who gets the tickets? Our bros at the top does not look like he's ready to give in. And all the younger ones too are brazen up. So husband wants to be president, wife wants to be president. Even your security man too wants to be president. Your driver too wants to be president. Everybody in your house wants to be president. I mean, how will that house hold?
But hey, but hold your talk there, DG. Don't you think that the fact that a lot of them are joining the race, including the vice president, Professor Osinbajo, don't you think all these people joining the race is an indication that they know that something is? They know what we don't know. Do you think they will join the race if they know that there won't be an election? I think it's an indication that there's really nothing to be worried about.
We have to understand the way these things work. Number one, Kuleshore was talking about 3 types of leaders. He says they are the leaders we meet, the leaders who are named, then the ones who are not named, who are unknown. You see, the people who actually call the shots are the ones behind the scenes. So all these ones are just pawns on the chessboard. Most of them don't even know. Let me tell you the truth. You see, there are some things I know that I can't even share here. But to be honest with you, where the decisions are made is not at the polling unit. It's not the polling booths. It's not in all these places and these meetings. The way these things are going. Because look, if you say a house divided against itself cannot stand, and you are the ruling party, will you go ahead with the elections? It's not going to happen. Then secondly, the insecurity we have is a major factor that I know even INEC and some other big wigs will use the advantage to say, we have to take a breather. Look, I'm sure maybe you must have heard that rumor that they're saying they will hand over to an interim government so they can sort out the insecurity issue, so they'll be able to capture it. See, let me tell you, we need to hit the reset button. I am not just suspecting that elections will not hold. I am praying and I am begging on proposing that elections should not hold. We need to hit the reset button. Number one, we have too many political parties. Scrap all of them. For 2 years, we bring in an interim government, civilian stroke military. Let's cleanse the land of this thing. Now we are going to have a 2-party state. 2 parties. Why wasting money? Do you know how much it costs running all these parties? Some of these parties are just in somebody's handbag.
That's right.
And INEC must fund them. They collect money. They have and you now print a ballot sheet that looks like a betting slip. What's the meaning of that? Are we clowns? No. Look, it can't be that difficult. Give us 2 options, and we think, this guy, we pick one. We have to go back to a 2-party state. Let's stop all this dancing around. And these parties must be, Babangida actually, see, I'll tell you, there are 2 leaders that have studied, and I might not be popular with this, but I like Babangida's style. I also like Obasanjo's style. And I'll tell you my reasons if we ever get there. Now, don't forget, Babangida was the one who took over and started National Orientation Agency.
That's right.
Go and check what National Orientation Agency was about. Secondly, he started the two political system, SDP and NRC.
That's right.
They built offices for all of them nationwide, similar offices. And he set a structure
right,
for how
for democracy
should be run.
Right.
Yes. Until the apple eating man came and everything.
But no. Until he chose to step aside.
Of course, no, he didn't choose, to be honest with you. The powers that be.
Well, that's a topic for another day. But I give it to him, efforts he made to set Nigeria up for a future, for a democratic future.
And things were looking good too.
Right. I agree. Some of us were witnesses to that, even though we were young. We saw how it was. And I must say that our generation really, like I was saying at an engagement recently, that we are the last generation to see the good side of Nigeria and the very worst state of Nigeria.
I think so.
We are the generation in between. The transition from, look at the computer age in quotes. Many of us grew up without computers. And in this same lifetime of ours, we can't do anything without computers. So we are that generation that saw the before and after of Nigeria. Talking about the millennials. We are the last generation that can fix Nigeria.
We were the last generation to see real Santa Claus.
Exactly.
In Kingsway.
Before Father Christmas.
Father Christmas and Bakare.
We saw real Santa Claus. We saw the real
real Santa in Kingsway.
Yes.
The real white man
the real,
with real
quality gifts. Not plastic and donkwa, not donkwa. So we have a great task in our hands. To step out and be part of fixing Nigeria, because everything degenerated right in our eyes, right before us. It's really, really sad. You want to compare what you had as a child to what your own kids are seeing now, and you're really concerned for what their own kids will go through. Everybody cannot leave Nigeria.
It doesn't look good.
It doesn't look good at all. And everybody cannot relocate. Everybody cannot leave this country.
No, we can't.
Right. So
but I'll tell you something, my friend. I'll tell you something. You see, something also changed in that period, in those transitions between Abacha and if I was from Babangida's time towards that time. Now, let me give you a picture, a triangle. The nation is a reflection of the state of the church in that nation, of the body of Christ. Now, the church itself is a reflection of the state of the homes in that nation.
Okay.
So whatever is happening in the churches, whatever decay or problems, go to the homes. Something is going on there that is upsetting the entire balance and system.
So if you're talking about the role of the church, what about the role of the mosque?
You see, religious organizations, now I'll tell you one thing. Number one, the Islam is not a religion, it's a system of government. But you see, it wasn't fluid enough. So it got to a point where even in Saudi Arabia right now, and many other Arab countries, you can't still be beheading and chopping people's hands anymore now, because those laws, those rules were set up for a time where these things were acceptable. Now they are beginning to let women drive. There was a time women could not drive. There was a time women could not do this. But the times are changing. But you see, Christianity or the Christ followers, Christianity is also a system of government.
I was just going to say that it's also a system of government.
Yes, it is. But the reason why it's lasting and it's still relevant is because it was a government of the future. It wasn't the government. Even when the disciples went to Jesus, say, when will you hand over the kingdom? He said, not now, not now. He said, you will receive power first. You will be witnesses to me. Then he will, then his be up till now, they are talking of then the end shall come. when the Bible says the kingdom of this world has become the kingdom of our God and of his Christ, and he shall reign forevermore.
But when you look at the statistics, the Muslim population globally and the Christian population globally, it doesn't really suggest that Islam is, behind, to be honest. But perhaps maybe the approaches, maybe there are a lot of new ideas in how the religion is being carried in different regions of the world. Yes, we can say yes, there is a paradigm shift when you look at what countries like the UAE is beginning to do, the westernization of the United Arab
look at what they're
Emirates.
doing.
Yeah, so
they've discovered that they can't continue like this except you want to become,
and they are quite futuristic. So I would agree in that regard. But in terms of population, I think the Islamic religion is actually growing globally. But I want to
because they understand that what they have is a system of governance. When they are talking of Sharia law, they are not saying, why can't they just say Sharia law? Okay, go and practice Sharia law inside your house. No, they are looking for ways to bring Sharia law into the constitution of every country they go to. I mean, for years to come, it has always been Christian laws and against the Muslims now. So it's not a hidden secret.
But the Christians don't have a law. The Christians don't have a law. It's about the law of the land. Even the Lord Jesus Christ recommended that you respect the state.
What is the foundation of even Nigerian law? Is it not British, English law?
British.
Yeah. And what is the foundation of British law?
Okay, I get that.
The Bible now. What's the foundation of American law? The Constitution and everything.
True.
It's the Bible.
Built around the church.
Everything is written around the 10 Commandments. So there's nothing hidden about it. They know that, look.
So what is the role of the church? In the governance of Nigeria, the government of Nigeria, in politics, Nigerian politics, what's the role of the church? What should the church be? Now, we have a vice president who wants to be president, who is a pastor, right? And there are a lot of talk around what is he coming to do? He wants to Christianize Nigeria. We have a Tunde Bakare who has stepped down from his active duties as a church leader and a preacher to focus on his political career. And he has also bought the 100 million naira form. Yes, he bought the form. So I would like to know, what do you think the role of the church is?
Yes, this Turkish adage is being modified though, but it's the background or the substance of it is. It's when a clown enters a palace, the clown doesn't become a king. The palace becomes a circus. So all these clowns.
The clown, who's the palace? Where is the palace? Who's the clown? Also, who are the clowns? We have 24 in APC. PDP has not given us.
Yes, at least there are double-digit clowns there that I know.
Oh, wow, that's not a good report.
So that is why the whole place, is it not a circus now? Is it not? Yesterday I heard Emefiele who has thrown his hat in the ring.
They bought the form for him. He did not buy with our money.
Kenny, probably tomorrow we will hear Oni of Ife too has thrown his hat in the ring.
Kabesi will not insult the throne.
Oh, hey. See, I'm not, no disrespect to Alayelua, but I mean, at this point now, people who have no business even being there are indicating interest. See, let me tell you one thing. Anybody who is sincere, let me be honest with you. And that's why, trust me, of all the candidates, let me say Osinbajo, Peter Obi, and what's his name? Tunde Bakare are about the only ones that I can say, okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the only ones. Who else?
Do I see a bias here?
How?
All three of them are Christians. Two pastors.
No, not at all.
And a very, very well-known Catholic making the third choice. Is there a bias?
Okay, give me other options that you think should have made the list.
No, I'm not to give you an option. I don't want to give you an option.
Let's not deceive
ourselves. Why not a Bola Tinubu?
See, Oga, you see, you see, you know what they call wishful thinking. Baba or Badari said, "Alati ole sheni."
Interesting. He is one of the strongest political figures in the race.
My brother, you see, Nigerians are, that's why, you see, when you want to know what is happening in the nation, come and study Oyo State. You see, the same way I gave the analogy of the nation, the church, and the home, Oyo State is the political headquarters of Nigeria.
Oh, wow.
Not just the South. Look, let me tell you, if there are two states APC can't afford to play with. Number one is Lagos State because of resources.
Right.
Number two is Oyo State because that is the political headquarters.
How about Kano State?
No, that's numbers.
Okay.
Yes,
fantastic.
They won't play with it.
They can't play with Kano because the numbers are huge.
That's why, you know, I was telling someone that it is not in our interest for Nigeria to break up. Because for any nation to be recognized globally, you need three things. You need population, you need resources, and you need intellectuals.
So where does Oyo come? Kano is for the population, Lagos is for the resources. Do you say Oyo is for the
It's for the brain.
Okay.
It's for the brain. I've attended political meetings, and I mean, when Babaladoja was to be removed from office, I mean, look at all the drama that happened there. They went to court.
Yeah.
Somebody told someone, and that person slept, had an epiphany, woke up from sleep, and executed it.
Interesting.
And this was something that everybody was still wondering how.
Yeah.
Look, you see, forget Oyo State. When somebody came out and won second-term bid, he had to go and do naming ceremony for himself again and change his name to Lusta Kosheleri because he knew that this is not a mere feat. Look how many states everybody is
Oyo states are very, very politically aware. They are very, very sophisticated.
Oyo State, if you study politics in Oyo State, you have a bigger picture of what's going to happen up there. Now, I will explain why. You see, when APC came in, APC seemed like an alternative, a credible alternative. Now, why there has to always be a strong opposition? And that was the problem I had with PDP then. You can't keep crushing your position. How would I look good if there's no bad person there? Why do we worship and love God if there's no devil? I mean, it's the devil that actually makes God look so good. The devil does bad things. God does good things. I like this man.
The fake is the reason you appreciate the original.
You look, yes. So they were trying to crush the opposition. I said, no, you don't do that. In fact, you fund them. But what you do is you now keep raising the bar and making sure you meet up with, I mean, what is a business environment without competition?
That's right.
Imagine if Coca-Cola was the only brand in Nigeria. You know, by now, even Coca-Cola themselves, they will be bored.
And there'll be no innovation in the industry.
No innovation. We'll probably still be drinking those old, funny bottles.
And the crates will still be made of wood. You remember those?
Thank you. You remember. You remember. So it's competition that makes everything interesting. It drives
development. Yeah.
Yes. So like when APC came in, now we're now like, okay, PDP, oh yeah, get your acts together. Now you guys have to top this. And they went to sleep. All the PDP people moved to APC. I said, what's wrong with you? Don't you people know how to play politics?
No.
You now go back to the drawing board and re-strategize.
But you see, you're talking.
Yeah.
You're talking about politics in the ideal setting, where it's about the people, ideologies, and the need for development. We're talking about a highly monetized political system. So you cannot expect people not to cross carpet once their party is out of power. That's the problem. Over monetization of our polity is a major reason why some of those things you're talking about do not work.
KENI, that is why I'm saying elections cannot hold. Look, you cannot, a bad tree cannot produce good fruits now. I can't go to a mango tree and be expecting to pluck a tuber of yam from it. Something is either wrong with the tree or wrong with me. There is no way our current political system can produce anything good. I can give you that 1 million times from now. I was listening to an interview, Peter Obi at Brekete and everything. I say, please. The system will not let you, all what you are talking about, you can't do it. You will get there now. You will get there.
Interesting.
Look, okay, what about the negotiations you have to make before you get there? Okay, see what Professor Osinbajo had to do to win Ogun State back for the APC. He had to soil his hands. So will that one come and beat his chest, Mr. Integrity? Will Peter Obi tell me that part of the allocation for elections will not have money for thuggery, will not have money for rigging, will not have money for bribing? It is all, you know what we call logistics. That's what we call logistics when we are doing budgeting for political campaign. And they all have debts on each other. That's why nobody can come and say, I want to arrest this person for corruption. They say, oh, guy, I rigged for you. And I told you.
Let's talk about the man Bola Tinubu.
The Jagaban. Ashiwaju himself.
Yeah. What do you think about his?
Let me see. He's an intelligent man. I mean, when his style of leadership is a form of leadership, that's, yeah, it's acceptable. If it works for you, it works for you. Fine, no problem. But let me tell you one thing. Blood that was spilled, blood of young Nigerians, our colleagues, you and I, we will forgive, but we will never forget. And look, let me tell you one truth. You see, yes, other things happen around town, in the country, this and that. But that particular day, that particular night, I knew something happened. And it is part of why, look, that is the spiritual dimension of nations that people don't understand. They think everything is about, we just color B power, you know, wrestle it and snatch it. No. You see, whenever I get to the point, even when the children of Israel were to be rescued, the final thing that broke the camel's back, what was it? Blood had to be spilled. And it was blood of the innocent. Whenever liberation is coming, that's why the people who call themselves freedom fighters and all these things, they understand that its blood must be spilled, and it is the blood of the innocent. So some of these fake freedom fighters, you know, our friend that wears a beret, is trying to initiate bloodshed. But, okay, you can't fake these things. It has to be, I mean, a monumental. I remember in the Bible when they were chasing, I mean, there's so many stories. There was a time Israel was fighting against a particular country, and this man just got to the point. He brought out his first son, sacrificed him there, and even Israel said, you know what, we are done. They turned back. It is significant whenever blood is spilled, and blood of the innocent. Even God recognizes it. That's why when God was to set mankind free from the devil's prison, he had to shed the blood of an innocent person. You see what happened that night? We bought our liberation with our own blood.
You're talking about the ENDSARS?
This same person, sorry?
Are you talking about, well, I want us to be specific. You're talking about
yes, it's ENDSARS at Lekki Toll Gates. ENDSARS at Lekki Toll Gates. What happened that night? See, forget all this covering up they are trying to do. You know, even Cain, when he killed Abel, probably covered Abel with bush and everything. God said, where's your brother? He said, my brother? Am I my brother's keeper? So as we're asking them, what are they saying? Well, there was no cause. Where's the bullets? Where are the dead bodies? But you think God is a fool? You think God is a fool? He said the blood of your brother is crying from the grave. And vengeance, look, we will have, if anything, at least, I can guarantee you one thing. We may forgive because our people are already going. In fact, some of our people are already in his campaign organization. They are the ones doing his strategy and everything. I have nothing against them. We may forgive, but we will not forget. And the blood spilled will never forget.
But I'd like to say that is just one politician. And the blame for ENDSARS and the violence that ended it, will it be fair to place everything at the table of Bola Tinubu?
Would it be fair to say nobody lifts a finger in Lagos State without his knowledge? Would it be fair to say so?
Well, according to the records in the media, he wasn't even in the country, as I said.
Please,
why not the governor? Why not the governor? Why not the president? Why not the vice president?
Even the governor gave interviews. By the end of the week, he was already recanting what he said. We both know that nothing, you see, even in any state, crime has, even the police, they know. If I remember when I was in Ebonyi and they robbed us, the police took me to the den. Say, hey, which of you people did this robbery? Say, we didn't go to that side though. That must be so and so group. He said, I'll contact them. They know each other. Nobody lifts a finger in a state like Lagos State without Asiwaju knowing. When Asiwaju is going to bed, do you know what he says?
But let's
He says, Eko soon. Lagos is going to bed.
Wow. But let's
such a thing of such level will happen at your doorstep, and you are saying, "I don't know what." Okay.
So let me put this to you. That's right. But let me also bring another angle to it. You said the bloodshed on that night is the reason, not for you not to believe in his presidency, in the Tinubu presidency.
You see, you are trying to divorce my spiritual sentiments from me thinking of him as a credible candidate, and that's one problem.
That's exactly where I'm going to. Is this about that bloodshed or the fact that you think he's not credible?
See, that's the part I'm going to. You see, we make a big mistake in judging people who are put in leadership, especially over nations. This is not Church Nigeria. This is not Nigeria International Church. This is not Nigeria International Mosque. This is Nigeria as a nation with what you browse will call all sorts of people. It's diverse. You see, the mistake we make is we are looking for competence. We're looking for character, not thinking about competence. Who can deliver?
Okay, so in a nutshell, because our time is almost up, so I'd like to put it to you straight up. Do you think, forget about the bloodshed angle, which I'm still going to come to, do you think Bola Tinubu can make a good president or not?
No way, he can't. He can't.
Now, talking about the bloodshed.
It's not important. See, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. If you want to bring it back to the bloodshed, or if you want me to separate.
So the question about the bloodshed is that every day blood is shed in Nigeria. From the southeast right now, we recently saw how a couple was beheaded. Blood is shed every day in the north. Does it mean the bloodshed in Lekki Tollgate is more important than the bloodshed in all those regions of the country? There are some politicians responsible for that.
Yeah, there's a big difference. There's a big difference. You see, when I shed blood in time of war, anything is permissible. But when I shed blood in the time of peace, then it is a crime.
A couple was going to get married. It was a time of peace. They were attacked, killed, beheaded, and
these unknown gunmen, they've been going back and forth between them, the police killing them, they kill the police, they kill the army, they kill this, they kill that. Now, I'll tell you why that will be one of the issues Peter Obi will have, that I know he can never be a good candidate for this nation.
So based on that as well, you also feel that Peter Obi has that stain on him, being the Southeastern man?
No, you see, I don't want to sound too, and I hope people will forgive me. The Igbo man is not yet ready to rule Nigeria, because they've not yet forgotten or forgiven the nation for what happened in Biafra. So behind the head of every Igbo man, let me tell you what happened. if you are fighting with your wife and one day you bring out your knife or your gun and you point it at her and you threaten to shoot her, you know, even if you settle that fight, 10 years from now, she will always remember that this man held a gun to my head. Behind the mind of the average Igbo man, they still haven't forgotten what happened in Biafra. So from that day on, your wife is one leg in, one leg out. So until an Igbo man is not 100% Nigerian. So until they are, we can't trust them with that kind of power.
Interesting. Deji, I know we're going to have another time to have this conversation. Thank you very much for this session. Thank you so much. We're going to continue. I'm probably going to have another session because there's a lot to talk about.